I feel like bullying's a bad thing because if kids get bullied, then I guess just more kids think it's funny, because then if more kids are getting bullied, then I feel like the bullies are going to be going up to other kids and saying like, hey, let's go bully this kid. And then like the world's just going to be a bad place.
Bullying to me is just going out of your way to make someone else feel pain.
Bullying is like it's a thing that happens to everybody and that people do to each other, like sometimes jokes or sometimes as like a serious thing that can really like affect people in their lives.
It's a really horrible thing that happens to some kids. They get picked on because they're different, or they look a different way, or they speak a different way.
Bullying means someone that is being picked on, that is being kind of taken away from the crowd and centered out and being denigrated.
Bullying means like people who are like getting harassed and teased and physically and emotionally scarred.
Bullying is like going out of your way just to ruin someone else's day.
I guess it means like putting down other people's opinions and their appearances and stuff like that.
Bullying, I don't know, I don't like to use the word bullying. It's just harassment, meanness, and hate.
Bullying is something that I'm pretty passionate about. Not bullying others, but the subject of bullying. Because I've been bullied. Until I was 18, I had no friends, or one or two friends, because I was thought different than other people. So I've really like tried to get kids to work to not bully others and to try and work together.
Not that I've experienced a lot of bullying personally. I've seen it a lot, and it's been on the news a lot. And to me, I think a lot of bullying today is a lot of cowards that aren't empathetic towards someone else, and because they can do it so easily without being seen on the internet, that I find it really cowardly.
Well, bullying's been a part of my life since like grade 2, kindergarten, grade 1. It's all the way up till like, well, basically last year was, where it hasn't really affected me. Like people kind of grew up and they're a bit more mature and they haven't bullied me anymore. It's like they bullied me about my weight when I was younger, and just looks, the way I did stuff, the way I talked, all sorts of things, just anything to get me.
After the end of grade 6, all of my friends, they ran away from me. None of them would talk to me. So for a good 3 years, I didn't have any friends, and I don't know, I did some pretty stupid stuff in middle school, but by the time high school ended, I kind of started finding people who had similar interests, and like I feel like that made me who I am today.
Well, it's about a year of my school life gone. Uprooting of family, of where my family lived at the time. It sort of destroyed everything that was going well for my section of the family.
Well, it kind of shapes how you cope with stress as a teenager, or it can. I think I received bullying as a teenager. I was so fortunate to not have to deal with any cyber anything. It was just to your face bullying, so at least the bully had to be brave. But it really, it shaped, my perspective on how I responded to stress and how did I want to deal with other people's opinions.
For a while, it actually really affected my life. I always got bullied for being short, but then I hit like a period of my life where I could care less what other people said to me.
Bullying has made me a not as confident person.
I lived in Scotland for a short period of time, and I went to a private school there, and I was bullied by them because I was different. I was an immigrant. They didn't try and get to know me. They just immediately decided they didn't like me, and they talked behind my back and ignored me. And that was really hard, and I didn't quite find out that they were, like, talking behind my back, like, for sure, until I left.
You know, bullying as an adult, it changes slightly, because then it becomes like maybe someone who's a bully might be described as catty or powerful or bossy, instead of it being like a social no-no. It's kind of accepted as someone owning their power in a kind of gross, abusive way.
I mean, adults push people around all the time. It's not as... It's kind of a different feeling when you do it as an adult. So when you're being bullied as an adult, it's usually by a person of authority or somebody who's higher than you, and they're using their power to make you feel smaller.
I probably have bullied someone. I think everybody's bullied somebody at one point in their life. Probably just like name calling, things like that, talking about friends behind their back. I know it's bad to admit that, but everybody does it.
I've bullied people in my time. Most of it's been done on the internet because I'm a wimp. I've not done it face to face, but I've done it behind people's backs and on the internet, and I don't know. I don't feel good about it, that's for sure.
I have bullied people, but I think that bullying people is kind of a thing that seems natural to you. Like you tend to go for that. You tend to go for the things that are different. Just because it's easy. It's an easy way to make a joke about the thing that's different about people. I don't think that's necessarily fair, that I'm picking on something that is the, it's their downfall or their weak point and I don't think that's fair at all. But I am guilty of it, as I'm sure almost every human being is guilty of it.
I try not to. I hope I don't. I guess everyone does to some extent. You can always be nicer, but I try not to.
My advice for someone who is being bullied is to not care how people judge you and to be yourself and to tell someone and not sit in silence and let it happen.
For the people being bullied, either just have good friends and cancel them out, or you can stand up for yourself by finding other people. Strength in numbers is always something I've stood by.
There was a certain song that I listened to. It's called Wits by Keisha Cox, and basically the chorus is walk away, ignore it, talk it out, seek out help. And what I've done is I've kind of done those steps, but sometimes ignoring it doesn't always work.
Well, obviously it's good to tell the bully what they're doing and that they should definitely stop.
My advice for the bullies would be to stop, and it's just cruel and not fair.
My advice for people being bullied is to have or develop or find the people near them who can help them reinforce a strong seat of self-worth, a strong seat of self, knowing their inner self and knowing who they are, because that's undeniable. That never goes away. And it is a point of strength for anybody that you can always call on. So finding the people that help you reaffirm that, or finding the thing or the space or the project or the hobby that helps reaffirm your self-worth, who you are. My advice for the bullies would be to tend to your own garden first, take a look inside, make sure that you're cleaning up your act before you believe that you have the right to tell someone else or to talk about someone else or to enforce your opinion on someone else.